BMX, this show. I'll put you on the episode of Real BMX Racing Podcast, Today Show. It's sponsored by the #1 BMX XK. For home or your BMX track, Pro Start. BMX Canadians, show them with another episode of your BMX Racing the Podcast. Today's show is sponsored by the #1 your BMX King. Fuck a BMX spell, maybe BMX man. Fuck with you with accents. With a special shout out to Chase Bicycles. Today guest USA BMX Women's Pro Payton Ridenour. Payton, welcome to the show. License BX BMXX. Chase Bicycle. Today guest Q Japanese BMX Women's Women's Pro Payton Ridenour. Payton, welcome to the show.
Okay, so that was longer than normal because I was feeling that beat.
Wow, I am pleasantly surprised at that. I have never watched a show before, and wow, I might start watching the show just to hear the intro. Wow, that was great.
Was that you, Everett?
What, rapping? I got bars. No, that wasn't me.
Don't worry, it surprised me also. He's like, what is this, bro? All right.
All right, Shannon, go ahead and jump us off.
Okay, so out of all the sports that you could participate in, why BMX?
Honestly, I love BMX because it's so versatile. So the tracks are always different, the competition's different, the weather conditions could be different, the location's different. So I love how it's just ever changing. Not to kind of put down any of another sport, but I'm just going to use an example and say, for example, track and field. Let's just say we do a 200-meter dash. It's the same every single time, point A to point B. So I love how BMX is always changing and that you have to be really adaptable to overcome those changes.
Yeah. So when did this all start for you?
I started racing when I was 5 years old. My dad took me to the track one day. He used to race a little bit when he was younger, and It's literally been something that we've done together ever since. And my dad still rides now too. He'll come out to the track every once in a while and we'll ride together. So it's also been something that we've always done together, which has been awesome.
Do you have any siblings?
No, I don't. It's just me, but I do have 3 dogs, which take up a lot of our family time. I have a Beagle Rocket, who's the oldest, and then I have 2 mini dachshunds, Turbo and Boost. Obviously, there's a theme going on there.
I see that. Very cool.
Okay. How old were you when you first beat your dad?
Oh, man, that's a good question. I actually don't know, but I always remember when I was really young, I would beat the boys and I'd always be combined with them. So I'd be racing the boys when I was younger because I was honestly one of the only girls at my hometown track, which was in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. I grew up racing there at Trilogy.
Oh, okay.
And I would always sign up and race against the boys. And I think the boys started beating me when I was around 14. But I think I probably started beating my dad around that same age, but he honestly still gives me heat out of the gate.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, he has quite the gate. He is a powerhouse. So yeah, but probably around that age we were kind of around the same speed, but then especially when I started racing junior when I was 17, then I kind of took off after that.
Wow.
What kind of bike is he on? Is he on a 20-inch or a cruiser?
So my dad actually rides a dirt jumper most of the time. He loves the bigger wheels because he's a mountain biker at heart. But he has been riding the cruiser a little bit, but he wants to learn and ride his 20-inch so bad. But the problem is that it's just so sketchy going from riding big wheels your whole life and then going down to a 20-inch bike. It's easier to make the transition the other direction and go 20-inch up, but going down is just a whole different animal. So he'll tell me, yo, this thing's so fast. This thing's so it just takes off on me out of the gate. And I'm like, that's how it is. This is what all the fast guys ride. You got to get on the 20 inch. So I'm trying to get him comfortable on the cruiser first. So then hopefully he can graduate to the 20 inch eventually, because he has one. He has like a really nice one, like with all my spare parts and stuff on it. So it's ready to rumble when he gets more comfortable.
So is he out there jumping? Since you said he's got a dirt jumper, he's out there.
Oh yeah, man. He got all the skills, bro. He's doing it up out there.
Wow.
Obviously he's getting older like the rest of us, and the jumping skills have kind of just gone down a little bit more of a safety perspective throughout the years more than anything. But like, no, he'll send the first jump off of the amateur side. He'll be jumping some of the last straight, and yeah, he's no slouch out there.
Man.
That's funny, because the last the Vegas race that just happened over the weekend, Eric Group was in that group, and it was like 56, I think, to 60. So I somebody was saying these guys are racing like they're retired, like they don't have to work on Monday. There was like 3 crashes in that same race. I think Eric Group got thrown over the berm, and then there was a couple other crashes after that. Yeah. So it was just funny the way he said it. He's like, these guys must be retired the way they're racing. Because we always say that as older guys. Hey, listen, guys, we got to work on Monday. Like nothing crazy, you know.
Right? They said you pull up in the front, you can have it, brother. It ain't that serious for me.
So did you ever race cruiser?
I did race cruiser when I was 10 and under.
Okay.
And I doubled at the Grands one year. I got nag 1 and 20 inch, and I got nag 1 and cruiser, and then that's when I just hung up the cruiser and said, all right, that's enough.
Really?
Wow. What was your first big bike, name brand bike, race bike? My first race bike was a Redline. And I actually had, I'm pretty sure I started on a Redline, but then I had a Redline when I was 7, when I really started going around and like racing all the nationals, and that bike was actually undefeated.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I like donated it to my local track. So now like, I don't know where it's at right now, but I know it's getting passed around, which I hope that it still is undefeated. It's probably a little unlikely to still be undefeated, but I'm glad that it's getting good use nonetheless.
So did your dad race nationals when he was a kid?
Yeah, he did. And
Okay.
he'd also race a little bit. Like when I got into racing, then he would race too. And he's actually won. I don't know if he won like when he was younger. I'm not sure like what happened back then, but I know one year we went to South Park together, and it was just pouring rain, and it was just a mud fest out there. And that was the first national that I've ever seen him win, because he's so good like on his mountain bike and racing in those kind of conditions. And he just totally bossed up that day and got the win. And I remember that was so cool.
Was he on a mountain bike or a dirt jumper?
No, he was on his cruiser back then.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah.
So he's familiar with the cruiser.
Yeah. He's lost some flexibility throughout the years. So I think that's why I went back to the dirt jumpers. And now we're trying to go back down again.
Has he gotten injured racing at all, or doing mountain biking, dirt jumping?
Yeah, I mean, he's all beat up out there. So
You all are. All the older guys are. I swear.
Aren't we all?
I don't even know what's wrong at this point, but I just know that there's some body trauma going on.
Speaking of, what's been your worst injury?
Honestly, probably last year when I went to the World Cups in Australia, I had a crash in practice, and I cased the triple into the first turn. And honestly, I kind of like nose cased it and just flipped over the handlebars and landed into the turn. And I didn't know what was wrong just yet, but I ended up having to take an ambulance ride to the hospital. And I was telling the guy, like, yo, do not put me in the ambulance. That stuff costs money. Because that's how I was raised. I'm like, don't put me in there. Like,
we're not paying this ambulance bill right now. I don't care if I'm paying it or you paying it, but throw me in the car. And he's like, no, like, we got it. You got to go in. So I'm like, okay. So I like reluctantly end up in the ambulance. And then I got a bunch of scans and they were like, yeah, like you seem fine. Like everything's just bruised. And then I continued racing a little bit with like some pain. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. And then I got checked out again a few months later. And turns out that my pelvis was fractured the whole time. So that definitely explains all the discomfort that I was having.
Right.
Yeah, but that one, the fact that like I didn't really know what was wrong initially, and then to figure out later kind of prolonged the injury and just kind of like made it worse than it was like initially.
So you were still riding, still training during that time?
Yeah, because it was also Olympic qualification time. So it was like basically I didn't have a choice. I just had to like keep going as long as I could like ride like pretty good. So it was like just kind of keep going and try to like get that qualification spot.
And how was your dad with you when you were younger? Like how hard did he push you?
I mean, he's always been someone to like know my abilities like better than anybody else, and like even myself sometimes when I would kind of doubt myself and be like, oh, I don't know if I can do that, he would always tell me, yo, like you got that, like come on. Like so he'd always kind of be pushing me to do new things, but never like forcing me to do anything, but kind of just telling me, hey, like I know that you can do this, so like helping push me out of my comfort zone.
Nice.
So not a factory dad.
No, he is not yelling from the sidelines. Honestly, he's pretty chill when it comes to like when I win, which I think is funny because he kind of like expects it most of the time. So it'll be like, well, yeah, like I know that you're capable of that, so like good job. So but I know he's like proud deep down.
Yeah.
So he was your
That's
first
pretty cool
coach.
because I was gonna say the thing that reminded me of is so I won a national once, right? And I'm standing in the line, getting ready to take my picture on the podium, whatever and whatnot. I look over my good friend over here, and the first thing out of his mouth is, "Yo, whose trophy is that?" And just left me hanging on it. He just thought it wasn't mine. Like he's just like, "Whose trophy are you holding?" I'm like, "Bro, that's mine. I won that." Get out of here. I'm like, all right.
I totally missed his race, and I've never seen him hold a first place trophy ever. So I'm like, whose trophy are you holding?
That's funny. No, both my mom and dad, like when they watch from the sidelines, they're like dead silent. They are not saying anything. And then like at the podium, my mom will be like, woo, and then my dad will just kind of be there like so,
Did they get to go when you were on your Olympic journey? Did they get to go with you to the countries?
No. So like you can come if you want to go like to the World Cups and stuff, but I'm traveling with the team, so it's a little difficult to like be able to see them, honestly. So it's kind of like they're on their own. They do whatever they want to do while they're there. They watch races and they go home. So they just watch from home on the live stream. But I did take my mom to the Pan Am Games in Chile in 2023 to watch me there. And obviously I wanted them to come to Tokyo, but we couldn't because COVID and there was no spectators allowed. Right. So hoping that, and then my dad also came to the Worlds last year since it was in Rock Hill and got to watch. But now the next big trip that we'll have planned would be for everyone to come to LA.
So the team, do they want you to have your parents or friends around, or do they want you to kind of separate from them just so you can stay focused on your race as much as possible?
I mean, they haven't really said anything about that, but I think it kind of goes unsaid where we all kind of know, hey, we're here, we're racing, we're following the team schedule. Like if we want to go out and like see our parents like one day or so, like that's okay. But we have to know that our priority is there to race. So we will maybe not have as much time to like do other fun touristy things and meet and greets like we would want to normally. But I mean, that's just how it goes when you have to just kind of prioritize performance versus fun. But then obviously when you win, I mean, everyone's having a good time.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So was your dad your first coach?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. He and I just always rode together. Never really like, you know, I was just always a really active kid. So it was never like, oh, do your gym, do your sprints. I've just kind of rode my bike for fun, like everyone did. And then when I was 16, I got onto the junior development team. And that's when I met my coach now as of, man, Ariel Martin Verharen. We met in 2017 because she was the coach of the junior development team. So we've been working together for 8 years now. It's been a while, like pretty much my whole junior and then pro career. So we've grown a really like nice bond together, and I've learned obviously all the ins and outs of training. And she's great to work with, and she also has a lot of reputable athletes, and she has a good resume herself, so it's easy to kind of trust her.
With you and your dad, have the roles reversed at all? Does he come to you for any advice for riding?
Honestly,
like,
yeah.
that he needs to do.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. I'll give him some tips here and there.
Are you able to beat your coach now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if she's gonna watch this, but like I will say that confidently. She is a mom of 2 kids also.
Right.
But yeah, I would like to say like me right now versus her in her prime. I mean, I would like to see that race, but I'm gonna say right now, like me just trying to be confident, like I can take her.
Yeah. So before I forget, this was probably a few years ago now that I'm thinking. You had a video that you put out and it was going around of you doing a box jump. I've sent that to so many people. Like, check this out, bro. Like, you wouldn't believe how high she can jump, man. I mean, do you still do box jumps like regularly?
Oh yeah. Regularly.
Have you ever topped that height?
Every time I'm in the gym, my max is still I haven't. So the box jumps here, they go up to 50, and then if I want to stack it more, it goes up to like 54. So like that's a huge jump on like maxing out for me to make. But yeah, still 50 is my highest. But I've actually have done some like variations. So I don't know if you've seen, but I did put out a video at I don't know, it was the end of this year or the beginning of the end of last year, the beginning of this year. But I actually got the idea from Elise, who posted some video of her jumping from a medicine ball, like balancing on a medicine ball, a hard one, and then jumping onto the box jump. So then I did that as well, but just trying to see how high I could go. So I did that video like a few months ago. So now, honestly, I'm just looking for some side quests on my box jump game.
Okay. So you haven't thought about trying to like dunk a ball yet?
So the problem is that like my hand isn't big enough to like hold the basketball with one hand.
Right.
So one, I need a smaller basketball, and 2, I don't know if I can get all the way up there. Like that's pretty high. Yeah.
It was the first time I saw my buddy Cam Moore, who used to race. I guess he's retired now, but when he just stood there and just jumped up and dunked, and I was like, wait a minute, you could dunk a ball? Like, you know, because the whole plyometrics thing, I didn't put that together into like transitioning it or translating it into basketball. So when he did it, I was like, oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah,
and he's not
honestly,
super tall either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of BMXers just have those hops just because you had to be so explosive.
Did you play any other sports growing up?
Honestly, no. I did soccer when I was like really, really little, but at that point, when you're that little, you just run around the field and chase the ball. So
Right.
no,
Right.
I've pretty much done BMX my whole life.
I was at a state race the other day, and I played soccer as a kid. So every time I see kids playing soccer, like I want to jump in and show them what I got, you know. But I'm like 10 times older than these kids, and they have like 100 times more energy than me. And so, like, this was Saturday that I played with them, probably for about an hour. I'm still limping around, and it's Thursday. Terrible.
Oh yeah. So, what do you do in your downtime?
I love to hang out with my dogs, and I like to read. Like I like to learn new things. And yeah, like not just from like reading, but also like I want to say kind of like circus acts things, like solving Rubik's cubes, juggling. Like right now, I've been learning how to crochet a little bit, so just kind of like different, skills that are like easier to learn and that I can do without like going out and being like super super active because I train so much throughout the day. It's like I just need to kind of have something chill that I do.
Right. Right. Have you thought about learning to play an instrument?
Honestly, no. I did have a guitar when I was younger, but I never like really got into it that much. But yeah, I don't know. I love music. Like I love to listen to music, but I just like have never really gotten into playing anything.
I just noticed your bookends.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Dachshunds. Yeah.
Any plans on writing another book?
Yeah. Actually, that's funny that you mentioned that because I have my first book, A to Z BMX Style, which is an alphabet book, all based off of BMX. And now I have a numbers book, 0 to 20 BMX Style. I have everything written, everything illustrated. I basically just need to get it printed and all put together. So sometime next year, I should have that out.
Very cool.
So where have you been where you've been recognized but they don't speak English?
South America is a big one. Yeah, a lot of them don't speak English, but I also can speak Spanish, so it works out just fine. So when I go there, honestly, I think I like looked at my Instagram following statistics last week, and it said my biggest following is from Bogota, Colombia. And I thought that was like really interesting because, well, besides obviously the United States being like the biggest country, but like my biggest city following isn't even in the US, it's in Colombia. So yeah, when I go there, everyone just goes crazy just to see like other athletes from different countries in general, especially with the US being kind of like such a like big and like well-known country as far as like athletics goes and just like a different way of living. Everyone's always super excited to see us there. And I'm going to go down to Argentina for the World Cups, the last World Cups of the year, in like 3 or so weeks. So when I go down there, I always try to bring some kind of swag, like jerseys or plates, just to like kind of hand out, because I remember going there, there's always just kids all around the gates just asking for like stuff from us. So that like literally makes everyone's day. Even if you just bring one thing and one kid gets to have some kind of jersey, like they will remember that forever. So I just love to share that because I have so many like laying around that I'm never going to use. And it's like, well, why should I keep this when, someone's going to be so happy to get this?
Which brings me to my follow-up, because I'd be very happy to get an autographed jersey.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely send one out to you.
Heck yeah. He said he won't wait. We are definitely big fans. So,
and then I also did go to China this year for the first time. It was a really
awesome.
interesting experience for me. I went with Velo Solutions with the pump track guys, and they were having a qualifier there. And basically I was just their show rider, but We did so many photo ops, did so many autographs, went around the city filming everything, and it was really, really like overwhelming, but also super cool to see everyone's passion for bikes, and then for me to share my passion with bikes for them as well. So again, we don't speak the same language, but we have the same passion for bikes, so we can connect over that so easily.
So
You know,
you as
when
a
you go-
kid, who did you look up to? Like, who were you excited to see?
I think someone that I've always looked up to would probably be Mariana Pajón. And that's just because, I mean, she's won 2 Olympic gold medals, 1 silver, and has won also every other title between Pan Am Games, European Championships, World Cup overall, World Cups, USA BMX title, like literally everything that there is to win, like Continental Championships, Nationals, like she's won it. So that's really inspiring. But then also to like be able to meet her and then like see her as a person and just how passionate she is about BMX, but then also how kind she is to everyone, like no matter the circumstance, with how many fans she has around her, like always has time for people, always is willing to share her knowledge and just like be respectful of everyone. And to also get to line up in the gate next to her is just like inspiring at the end of the day. So obviously now we're like competitors, but it was really cool to like kind of have that when I was younger, to like look up and see these girls race and be like, well, that's what I want to do. Like, this is what BMX is, and that's where I want to be one day.
Because I heard she's like a bona fide rock star, like when she goes home.
Yeah, yeah.
Billboards and all types of stuff.
Well, it's because she was not just the first girl, but the first guy or girl to win an Olympic gold medal in all of Colombia and all of history.
Really?
So like that's why she's so famous there, is like
Okay.
she was the first one ever.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if they ever let old people in there, I got shot. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need a 45 and up, super novice, you know, like right below novice, so I can just get in there and handle my biz. Huh, Shannon? You got my back on that one?
No, not at all. Man.
Oh,
I can't
all
support
right.
that.
Can't blame me for trying. I mean, but I get to travel the world, though, right? Like, I mean, they added breakdancing in. They could add an old man category.
Yo, breakdancing's out already.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah, that was a one-hit
Man.
wonder.
I'm hoping, and I'm crossing my fingers that I get to watch you guys in LA when you guys do your thing this next time. Because being from California, I was telling my girlfriend I would love to get out there and watch you guys race in LA. That'd be pretty epic. I grew up in the in Orange County, where the Orange Y used to be, which was a pretty popular track back in the day, before your time, obviously. And it's just, that's what, you know, I mean, that's where my passion came from. Like, Shannon, we all got our stories of how we, you know, got down and started racing. And it's funny, we stepped away from BMX for such a long time and came back, and it was like just coming back home. Like, we didn't miss a beat, you know. It was something that we enjoyed doing, and it was like, you know, it was awesome. But as far as for you, was there ever a time that you were able to step away from it, or have you thought about stepping away from it?
Honestly, no, like not a whole lot. I have like taken breaks, like again, just like kind of like a few weeks at a time. And when I was younger, again, all I did was literally just ride my bike for fun. So now with traveling and competing and training all the time, it's really taxing, not just like physically, but mentally as well. So it's really important to like take breaks and kind of just reset. So for example, after the Worlds, I took like 2 weeks off where I just did whatever I wanted to do. If I wanted to go to the track, I went to the track and rode. If I didn't feel like going to the track, I didn't go to the track. If I felt like going to the gym, I go to the gym. If I don't feel like it, I don't need to like force myself to go. And that's really good because it just kind of gives you like a mental reset to get out of the routine of training and just always like following a schedule and being so strict with like eating, sleeping, what time are you doing this and this and this. So it just is really good to have that break. But I don't think I've really ever thought about seriously like stepping away from BMX, just because I can see my potential that I have and know that I still have more to fulfill that I want to achieve. So if I like stepped away from that, like knowing that I still have like potential to do what I want to do in BMX, and especially being so young, then I would just like never really feel fulfilled in life, I guess. Or at least not knowing that I put my best foot forward and tried to get there at the end of the day.
Right.
Any other type of bike racing in your future? Do you see like you doing downhill mountain biking or
Pump and track.
dual slalom?
So I do the pump track already. I won the world championships in 2019 in Switzerland, and then the following year I got second. And the last 2 years I've stepped away from it just because of the Olympic qualification process, and I prioritize BMX racing over pump track. But I got back into it this year. I did a qualifier. I won the qualifier. So anyone who wins a qualifier gets a fully funded trip to the Worlds, all expenses paid.
Really?
So yeah, which is great that they do that, which is, yeah, honestly, super,
cool.
super cool. So now the Worlds are coming up. It's actually in like about 2 weeks. So I'm going to leave for Louisville for the national on next Wednesday, race there. And then I'm flying straight out from Louisville to Pump Track Worlds in Switzerland. And then I'm going to race that following weekend for the Worlds. So I'm super excited about that because I've been kind of away for a little while, and I just love the vibe because BMX is so serious and pump track's just a little bit more laid back. Everyone's just kind of having a good time, having some fun, and just enjoying being there and being in the moment. And yeah, so I'm excited for pump track. But besides any other like forms of cycling, honestly, I'm not sure yet. Like, I've always kind of looked at like the Crankworks thing and thought it was really cool, but have never just had the opportunity to get into it with just how much we're consuming our time with racing and traveling and all that good stuff. So maybe later down the road, kind of look into that a little bit. But as of now, it's just BMX and then pump track when I can.
So knowing this pump track event is so close to a national, I mean, do you do anything different? Are you going to like hold back a little bit at the national to make sure that you're able to get to the pump track event? Does anything change there?
No, definitely not. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like you just have to go in all in no matter what. The level of competition is so high. Like if you're not putting your best out there, you're holding back a little bit, like you're not gonna like kind of get where you want to be. And for me, like Louisville is kind of nostalgic because that's where I won my first Grands title at the NBL Grands, and that's where I kind of grew up racing. Finals was NBL when I lived in Pennsylvania, so that was kind of my upbringing, I guess, when I was younger and I was racing. So if anything, like this race like is one that means the most to me like throughout the entire year, just because of like kind of like the childhood weight that it has, and then also like they give out a cool prize too. I mean, like who doesn't want a Louisville Slugger? So
Right.
it's like you like forget about the paycheck. Like you want the bat. So yeah, like definitely would not hold back, and just obviously like I'm not going to do something stupid in general. Like I'm not going to like blow myself or someone else up like in general. Like that's just not really how I ride. So
Right.
but I'm not going to change anything.
Okay.
Who works on your bike for you?
My dad. Yeah. He's my mechanic. He's tried to teach me some things, but like it doesn't seem to click a lot of the time. I can build it like out of the bike bag, like no big deal. Pro at that because I travel by myself a lot. So, but if anything like catastrophic happens, it's done. So I bring spare parts with me. And usually, like when I travel internationally, I'll bring a full spare bike with me.
Oh,
But
really?
if I just do like a domestic race, I'll just bring like a extra chain ring in case it gets bent from the airline, and then extra set of like an extra braking system. I'll always bring just spare pedals just to have them, and then like just some spare bolts, like chainring bolts, stem bolts, just to have them. So then in case of emergency, like I can go up to another dad and be like, hey, like, can you please help me? So I have all the tools that I need. I just need someone to do it for me. And I also don't really trust myself that much to do it if need be. So yeah, my dad definitely is a mechanic at home.
So does the team have a mechanic? Like when you travel with the team?
Yes, the team does have a mechanic most of the time, and we've had quite a few mechanic switches throughout the year, though, with different people taking on the role. So since everyone keeps switching, we like don't really have like a set like bond with anyone from there, just because we've had so many mechanics throughout the years so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do have one. But still, like, I'm like reluctant to trust the mechanics on the team, just because I know like my dad dials in my bike before I leave. So then I'm like, don't touch it. Like, just like, I'm going to put air in the tires. I'm going to check the bolts. And like, if anything else happens, like, and it needs to be touched, like they can fix it. But besides that, like, it's fine. Like, don't touch anything. Don't adjust anything. Like, just leave it.
I mean, if you needed some guidance, would you ever call your dad and say, Dad, how do I do this? Or
Oh yeah, like
all right.
honestly, like I would trust that over like anything, just because like he's worked on my bike my whole life. So I just already have like that trust built up with knowing that it's going to be perfect and I'm not going to have any issues with it, and I can then trust my bike when I race, because like at the end of the day, like my job is to race. And then if I can trust my equipment, then I have absolutely nothing to worry about.
Right. Who are all your current sponsors?
So I have quite a few people that give me product and help out with my bike. So I have Shimano componentry on my bike, between like cranks, braking system, not the chain ring, because I have a decimal on there. Actually, George from Renin gives me some chain rings. Then Tioga for tires. I like the power blocks just because they're really good in like any kind of weather condition. So I like the power blocks. And then I have Onyx hubs, which I love just because they're silent. The engagement's awesome. Like they make some cool colors. They engrave my name in the hub, and they've always been super, super good to me. And I have E6 carbon hoops on my bike, which I have put through the ringer. So if anyone's reluctant to put carbon hoops on their bike, like they will hold up. And yeah, so I haven't had any issues with those. Those are great. And I have a few answer things on my bike, a few answer components. And then my frame is a Chase frame. I actually had the leisure to pick my own frame this year and have to pick whatever I wanted to ride. And I know the guy from Chase, Pete, because he's the same guy who gives me like tires and anything like kind of under that realm. So I got a frame this year, and honestly, I love it. And I wanted to test it out just because I've seen so many people win on it, you know, between like Joris at Olympics last year and just lots of titles on it. And I also wanted to try out like a carbon frame again. I haven't had one since I rode on Haro like 5-6 years ago. And
Right.
I just love how like responsive it is and how smooth and efficient it is. I've noticed like a big difference. So yeah, I'm really liking my setup, and I have ODI grips on there, but I have the flanges on there because I like ride all the way in, and I have the donuts on there. So I'm like old school on my flanges. Yeah.
That's old school, man. I was just telling somebody about donuts, and they're like, "What are you talking about, donuts?" I'm like, "Donuts. They put on the grips, man." He didn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
They still sell those things? That's
I was
crazy.
gonna say now I'm gonna have to like go back and look at your bike.
Yeah.
Like, really?
They are like they're phasing out. So now it's just like the smaller flange, but still like I just like it because I ride with my hands like all the way in on the grips.
Okay.
So I just like that extra cushion right there. So yeah, I do have the donuts on my bike. And yeah, so besides the bike, then I have my gear sponsor, which is Fly, who gives me, jerseys, pants, gloves, helmet, and my helmet is actually painted. So I'm sponsored by WD-40. WD-40 owns my helmet, and I get a cool paint job every year, which is great. So I get to design it, and it's really, really cool. Like from the distance, you're like, oh, like that looks pretty cool, but just like the detail on it is second to none. It is so awesome. Like I love it. And it's just super, super cool. And usually wear goggles when I race, which will be Oakley. And Shimano shoes. And besides that, now I have my new title sponsor, which is Union Square Sneakers. So my guy, Curtis Jackson from Connecticut area, owns that company, which is part of like a bigger company called Roll With Us. And he's sponsored me like mid-season this year just because I lost my main sponsor last year and at the end of last year. And then he really wanted to support me and has been watching me ride ever since I was little. So he gave me like a nice opportunity, really just helping me out a little bit this year, have his logo nice and big on my jersey, which Hot Shot makes, by the way, and HRP does my number plates. I'm only trying not to forget anybody because everyone is like so awesome and they like really support me and help me out.
You got everything covered, it sounds like.
Right. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. So like everything like on the bike and that I'm wearing like is like taken pretty much. Yeah. But I've had a lot of time like over the years to figure out things that I like versus what I don't like. So it's nice that I do kind of have the leisure to like pick my sponsors and reach out to people if I like a certain thing and not kind of be stuck on a team and then say, well, this company sponsors a team, so you have to run this, which is not usually my favorite thing because then one, like what if I have to ditch one of my sponsors that supported me forever, that's been nothing but good to me. But then also like, what if I don't like the product, but I have to be on the team to run the product. So I kind of like just kind of being by myself on no like set team, but still have sponsors to like individual sponsors to support me because then I get to represent whoever I want to represent. And I think that's super genuine also because it's not like, oh yeah, like I'm on this team and all these sponsors that come with it are like awesome. Like they're the best. Like, are they the best or are they just the best because they're part of the team and you have to run them? So now it's like, since I have to pick everyone that I want to represent, it's like, I'm picking them because I think that they're the best.
It seems like a lot of people are trying to go that route because of the fact, like you said, you might have a sponsor, you might not like the product. And so, but you have no choice but to run it.
Yeah. And yeah, honestly, like it's kind of tricky because the teams will give you a deal and say, well, we'll pay for this much registration and flight fees and we'll give you this much a month or whatever the heck the deal is. But then also like when you go individually, then that's harder to get that because now you don't have a package deal and kind of like set out for what is going to work for you. Now, like you have to figure out all by yourself. So you're going to be like, well, can I get, this covered? Like maybe this sponsor can cover this for me and this sponsor can cover this. So then you have to piece it together by yourself. So it gets like a little trickier. But if you do it right, I think it's more beneficial than being on a team itself just because BMX doesn't have a lot of money in general to give out. So if you can get these individual sponsors by yourself and kind of get them to support you and use that to like support yourself is more beneficial than just like kind of being tied down by a team.
What type of protective gear do you run? Like, do you wear elbow pads or undergarments, knee pads?
Yeah. I actually don't have a protective gear sponsor. So I did have one last year, but I ended up ending that just because they didn't really make any women specific stuff, and I kind of just strayed away from it and found gear that I like to wear a little bit better, and just thought it was kind of unfair if they like give me one thing that I like to wear and then I'm like wearing someone else's like padding. So yeah, as of now I wear elbow pads. I have a shirt that I wear that has like shoulder pads on it, hip pads, knee and shin pads like combined, and then obviously like gloves, the pants, like those fly pants really protect against crashes really, really well just with the material that they use. So I feel like I'm pretty protective out there, but I'm also really sleek, and you can't really tell that I wear anything besides like maybe the elbow pads because they are a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But all of them like kind of mold upon impact, and they're not like a hard plastic shell, which I like, because even though the hard plastic shell kind of protects against the raspberry burns and any kind of scrapes, it's not good upon impact, especially with a really like high contact sport like BMX. When you like hit the ground like super hard and it's just like the plastic, like it's just like gonna go right into you. But if you have like this softer kind of pad, even though I think like the typical person looks at that's outside of sport and is like, well, obviously like the plastic's gonna protect better than like this like thin kind of like flimsy thing. But I found that it kind of just molds upon impact, so, and then covers like the area instead of just like pinpointing one as of like a plastic sheet would do. And right. I've seen that it is better for protection in my case.
Makes sense.
Because I remember asking somebody about like one of those tops that have the shoulder pads, the hard ones. And somebody's like, bro, those are gonna break your collarbones, man. And I'm like, really? And then I started wearing the softer stuff. Like, you know, when it gets hot, it molds, like you said, it molds right to you. And, you know, once it heats up, it's just, yeah. And that definitely protects you, you know, because I fell a few times with that stuff. And I was like, I got up. I'm like, oh my God, like not a scratch. Thank God.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's a lot more comfortable at the end of the day, too. Like BMX, you're just moving so much. So to just have that mobility is huge.
So one other question about padding. If the weather is too hot, would you ever ditch a few of the pads and be like, yo, bro, I can't do it today? Is there ever a time where you would do that?
Honestly, no. Just because like I feel like the day that I don't do it, like I'm gonna eat crap. And it could be something so routine that I'm doing all the time, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna pad up. But if I'm doing like a demo or something, or like around the track, and they'll have me like ride down the Supercross hill or just like a few times and just show people, honestly, for that, like I'll just throw on the pants and a jersey because I'm like, whatever, like it's fine. But if I'm like actively training, like doing high intensity efforts, I'll throw on everything. But also because I just kind of want to simulate what it feels like in a race itself. Like I would never not wear pads in a race. But in Tulsa, I'm living in Tulsa right now. As of the last like 3 years, I moved from Pennsylvania to here to ride the track at the USA BMX headquarters. And it has been so hot here. It's like 105 every single day. And I'm going to go out later. I'm going to practice. It's going to be 105 again. And I'm going to wear everything.
Yeah. Wow.
Jeez. Wow. Would you ever ride without gloves?
Honestly, like gloves are the one thing that if you ask me, like, what is one thing that you like, you're naked. Okay. Like you don't even have jersey, like pants on, nothing. Like what is one thing that you need to put on? Like I'm choosing gloves 100%. If I'm just like doing like a clinic or something like that, like, and I demonstrate something, I won't throw gloves on just because I'm going like once up and back. But no, whenever I ride, always gloves. Just feeling the grips is so important to me, and having like that's like my contact, like my way through my bike. Like that's like where our connection has like this little like line of electricity that like comes out of my head and goes down to my bike. That's connected. That's only activated through my gloves.
There we go. Nothing wrong with that. I was going to ask you too. What goes through your head when you're getting up in the gate?
So honestly, I'm trying not to think about anything, because when I'm thinking about who's next to me or weather conditions or anything else that's like that you can't control, that's when you just kind of start spiraling, and then you're not focused, right?
Right.
So much of BMX is just reaction time, and you just reacting a split second too late out of that gate already puts you at a disadvantage. So what I want to do in the gate is go in, focus on myself, like my setup, get all set up, and then I'm just kind of like breathing. If I need to like release tension, like sometimes I'll like grip my bars like really tight, because if you grip something like really tight and then you let go, it like builds up all this tension, but then it like instantly like relaxes everything. So if I'm in the gate for a long time, like I'll just try to focus on something like on me that's like just going to keep my mind off of the race itself. Because now that I'm in the gate, like visualization time was long ago. If I want to visualize right now about my winning lap, like now is not the time. Now is the time to do the lap. So
Right.
yeah, really, like I'm just focused in the moment right when the cadence starts. I'm a listener. I'm a rare breed nowadays. It seems like everyone watches the lights, but I've always listened just because I don't like to pop my head up. Well, one, I like learned through listening, and then I never really changed it. But I have tried to look at the lights before, like later in BMX, and I just like listening better because I don't have to pop my head up and see all of these external factors going on around me. But then I also don't have to change my head position to look at the lights. If I'm in like gate 4 opposed to like gate 8 or gate 1, I'm going to be looking somewhere slightly different with the angle of my head. So I like how everywhere that I go, it's going to be the same no matter what. Like I'm always in the same position. I just got to do my gate. So I'm just kind of listening to that cadence in the gate. Then right when I hear that first beep, then it's go time.
So there was a national. I decided to not. I didn't want to know my gates going up to the chute. I'm like, they'll tell me once I get there, you know, what gate I'm in, and it works so much better because it was just in my head. Oh, I got gate 1, or I got gate 8. Oh my God, you know, and it was just like the whole time I'm going up to staging, up the chute, I'm like thinking about this gate I got and how unlucky I am to have this gate, you know. So when they give you a gate like 2 seconds before you get in, you don't have time to think about it. You better get up in that gate and clip in and do your thing.
Yeah. And like sometimes when you do that, that's when you perform the best, just because again, you're not thinking about anything. You're like, like sometimes my best ones are when I remember one time they like changed the order of the motos, and then the girls were going like before the vet pros like a few years ago. So like I was on the gate and I was like, what? I'm on the gate? So I'm like running all the way up the Supercross hill. I like get in the gate and like I don't even think about anything. I'm just like, holy crap, like I almost missed my moto, and then I like hole shot it like crazy. And it's like just because you're not thinking about anything.
Who's your favorite vet pro to watch?
I definitely like watching Jeff Upshaw. He just like makes it look so effortless. Like he literally doesn't even look like he's trying. He's just toying with them out there all the time. Like I watched the live stream and I just see him like just in, for example, he was in Minnesota racing and he was like stuck on the outside. He was kind of back in the pack, and then he just like bossed everyone up in the first corner. Like he doesn't even like go in with his elbows out. He's just like such a big dude that he knows if he just like kind of throws his front wheel in there, like absolutely no one is going to push him around. And I just see him like not doing anything excessive, which I really like. He's not trying to take extra pedals. He's not trying too hard to get extra backside. Like he's just so smooth and so efficient that he can just use that to his advantage. And it just looks literally, again, like he's not even trying.
And then you got on the opposite end, you got like Alan Hudson, the small guy of the group usually, you know. but he is so freaking fast, man. Holy crap.
Yeah,
And I
he
like,
actually moved to Tulsa area
yep.
not too long ago, and oh my gosh, like his first straight, like his gait to the bottom of the hill
Sick.
is so fast, like faster than like all like the elite men that are here pretty much. And his
Wow.
gait is just so good. Just so good.
And his gait form is so different. Like he just gets all the way down low. And I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing, man? You know, because they
Yeah.
told me to, stand up tall and da da da. And I'm like, but look at Alan Hudson, man. Like,
You know, that's funny because like I've seen a few of the boys here, like older boys, try to like mimic his gate start here. And then I'm thinking, like, that gate start is for Alan and like Alan alone. Like that works for Alan. Like that is not working for anybody else because I see them like try and I'm just like, it's just not working for them. And it's just such an unorthodox gate start. But I mean, it works for him exceptionally well. So I mean, why would he change it?
he reminds me of like the basketball players that shoot free throws like underhanded, like it's like it's just different. It's not how you're supposed to do it, but it works,
Yeah.
How long are your cranks?
175.
175. And how tall are you?
5'6".
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you asked. Because I'm like battling with crank length. So everybody's like, oh, you got to go shorter. Oh, you got to go longer. So I kept thinking I want to go 175s where I used to be. I went down to 170s, Now, then I went up to kind of 172.5s. And I'm just like, I want to throw 175s on. And I'm 5'8". I'm not that much taller, but I have all these guys, no, you 170s, man. And, I'm like, I want to try something different, man. So
yeah. I've honestly, like, I've never really messed with crank length before. Just right when I got to this height and 175s went on, and that was end game right there.
And so I don't know why I thought you were taller, because I stood next, when I was getting the book Forever, I kind of stood next to you and I'm like, oh, she's about my height, but then all the other girls seem like to be so much shorter, I'm looking at like Elise, and there was a couple of like Lexus Kobe, and they're tiny, man.
Yeah. So they're all like 5'2".
Yeah.
So like me compared to them, like I feel like a giant because I'm like 4 inches taller than them. But then when I go over to Europe, all the girls are like 5'10". So then now I'm like medium height, and then they're like super, super small. And then we have like these giants over here. So yeah, like in the US, I seem like I'm tall just because everyone's so short. But then if we like kind of put everyone together, like I'm literally just kind of in the middle of height.
Okay. What's your favorite movie?
One of my favorite movies is White Chicks. I love that movie. Like, I love any of the comedy movies, but that one's so funny. I love that movie.
And is there any specific music or anything you listen to pump you up before practice or a race?
I probably like listen. It's usually whatever song I'm feeling at the time. Like it could vary. It could be some pop song from like literally forever ago. It could be some newer rap song. It could be some like EDM dance techno song, like literally whatever that I'm feeling in the moment. But it's never something slow. It's always something hype up.
Okay.
So when you're racing, I mean, I know you said you listen for the gate. Are you able to hear the announcers or anybody cheering for you on the sides when you're racing? Or do you just block everything out?
So I don't normally hear anyone cheering, but that's funny that you said the announcer, because sometimes I don't like try to actively listen for the announcer, but sometimes I will just like hear the announcer. And especially in like the motos, I'm like, if I know that someone is in my rack that, might have a tendency to take corners low or something like that, then I'll kind of listen for the announcer. Because if then they're behind me, then I'll like be really protective of the turns and stuff. But then it just depends on the rider and like knowing the riders. So then if I had someone else behind me that I'm like, well, I know she's not going to blast me in the turn. Like she'll just take it home for like the third or whatever. Then I'm like, okay, then I'm just going to ride the turn like normal because I know that I'm not going to get exploded right now. But I'm not like actively listening during the race itself. It's just like if I happen to hear it, like then maybe I'll like, switch up just a little bit. But honestly, I'm kind of protecting myself pretty well out there anyways, regardless, just because of how racing is, and everyone will take advantage of any kind of opportunity, but I might listen in a little bit sometimes.
I'm going a lot slower than you, so I get to hear everything.
Yeah.
I could point out people like I'm like, you were right there when you said go, Shan, right? Yeah, yep. It was,
Yeah.
I'm like, I can hear everything, but like I said, I don't know. I don't take that serious.
I was telling you the last time too, and I was like, and hear him go, and Everett's gaining on him, and I'm like, I am. Let me start pedaling. Which is a rare thing when you hear me starting to pedal, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
What I was going to ask you is, has you ever mentally been like, today's not the day, I'm not feeling it? And if so, like, what did you do to overcome that? Or did you just shut it down and be like, nah, I don't want a chance getting hurt or anything because just mentally I'm just not in it right now? Like, what have you done?
So if something like that happens, I'll usually take a break and I'll do something else. Like it could be jumping another jump on the track, or like, for example, I guess it was like over a month ago now, at Hardesty at this track, there was like some wind coming in on the first straight. And I got a little nervous because I crashed over it before in the wind. So then I had like built up trauma. So I'm like, all right, well, let me go do something else real quick. So then I like went to a different section of the track and kind of like jumped around a little bit. And I was like, okay, like I'm fine. So then like 15 minutes later, after I took that reset, then I like went back up on the hill and then I was fine the rest of the session. So sometimes it's just like taking that little reset just to like pull you out of that moment, because then in that moment, now you're like more stressed. Now you're more timid and you're like not having any fun, and it's just all going downhill. So you just need some kind of pick me up that you're like, okay, now let me go try it again. Because I also think a lot that if I went home not doing this, I'm going to be like disappointed in myself. And like that feeling is one of the worst feelings, to go home and be like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe that I didn't get that done today. So
Right.
To just kind of have that win, because then again, once you do conquer whatever you're having trouble with, even if it's just once, like it doesn't matter how many times you do it, just that feeling that you get after it also builds confidence for the next time that something like that happens.
I mean, so leading up to a race, just say as you're pulling into the parking lot, unloading your bikes, getting your gear on, are you like super quiet? Are you like joking around and loose with it, or like how are you?
I'm usually like both, honestly. Usually I'm like joking around all the time, but then when I warm up, I like to have my own space and I like listen to music and I just do my warm up routine. And then when I go up, if I don't like just go up and like start talking to people, because also like everyone's in their own zone. So some people, like if you talk to them, they'll like kind of say mentally, they're like, why is this girl talking to me right now? Like, what is going on? So it depends on the person. Like Molly and I will talk to each other, like Lexi and I talk to each other, Carly and I. But besides that, or Ava and I will talk to each other. But besides that, it's like, I won't really talk to anyone. But then it's like, at that point, I'm okay with being by myself. Like, if they talk to me, great. If they don't talk to me, that's fine too, because then I'll just kind of visualize my lap or anything else that would just kind of prep me for right before I get into the gate. When I'm like in the staging area, for example, and we have all that time, like if I'm not kind of like having some kind of mini conversation, then I'll just kind of visualize my lap, what I need to do. And before you know it, then we're like already in the gate, then it's coming up.
Yeah.
So when I first got back into the sport, I was at Rock Hill one day and there was a bunch of pros there training, and it might have been a race day, I'm not sure. But I saw a couple of pros that I was familiar with, and I'm like, oh my God, this is my opportunity to walk up to them and say hi and introduce myself. And I'm like, these dudes are such asses, man. Like, why are they ignoring me, man? Like, like a couple of guys just straight ignored me. I'm like, hey, what's up, bro? They're like, let's go the opposite way of this guy. Who the hell is this? And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you, man? Come to find out, like, you don't do that. You just don't,
Yeah, I know, but like, you can also like be respectful about it, because I always think about if it were me and I'm like a fan and I go up to someone and I'm like super excited to meet them, like my fan status is going to deteriorate a little bit if I just got neglected by my favorite pro. So something that I'll do, like I'll always like give time before the race or something like that, or at the autograph signings, even like before I get into the staging area, like I don't mind like taking pictures or whatever. And again, everyone's different. Some people like won't do that.
Yeah.
But if I get done my lap, something that I will say, they're like, oh, like, can I get a picture real quick? This happened to me in Minnesota. Then I'll be like, hey, like, give me like 2 minutes. So I'll just like say like, hey, like, give me 2 minutes, and I'll like put in my seat post and I'll recover. And then like I came back and then I like took a picture with them, and they like waited there and they were like stoked, and that was fine. So like if you just like communicate with them and be like, hey, like this is what I need right now, but like I will do this for you. Just give me like however much time, like that's fine. Or again, people are different. Someone might say like, hey, like find me after the race at whatever tent, and then maybe they'll come up. So yeah, it's just kind of depending on the person, but then also like just not being rude, because at the end of the day, it's like they're fans, like they want to support you. They're stoked to see you in person for maybe like the first time ever. And I just think that the pros kind of have to remember that as well, and be like, kind of put themselves in the opposite shoes, and like, how would they feel if, they just kind of got dissed like that.
Yeah, I definitely got dissed.
Yeah, it just made me think of something too.
I thought if I was a little kid, it'd probably been different,
All the same.
Yeah.
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, you're still as tall as a little kid. I mean, I'm just trying to help.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So now that you don't, I guess, have a frame sponsor, like, so where do you set up at? Because like everyone knew when Mongoose was there, boom, that's where you were. So now where can they find you?
Honestly, like, it just depends, like, who is there for the weekend. Like, I can pretty much like slide in anywhere with under any tent, but like I come with absolutely no baggage. I bring my own chair, I bring my own snacks, I bring my own water. Like, I don't need anything. I just need like a little corner somewhere in the shade, because I'm ginger, so like I'm just gonna melt. I need shade, and that's it. So yeah, usually if Mason Hayes and like his family are there, where I was pitting at for years and years past, I will still hang out with them, just because they have so much space and they're super, super nice.
Yeah.
If my parents do show up, they actually showed up in Minnesota, so I hung out with them that weekend. And besides that, yeah, anywhere. Sometimes like I'll be staying with a friend, and if they have a team pit, then I'll just kind of go in with them, and it's pretty easy to figure out. Again, as long as there's shade, I have my own chair, I'm good to go.
How old were you when you switched from trophies to stamps? Because you're just like, I don't need any more of these.
Honestly, I think I was like probably 12, pretty early. Yeah, because the trophies really started stacking up. And then I remember I bought my first GoPro at the Grands one time with my stamps, which was really cool. I had like so many stamps saved up. And then I think once I could buy things that I wanted, then I was like, I'm not getting a trophy. So then I just started getting trophies at Grands, and that was it.
Yeah, as a kid, like we had the option also. We had the option to actually get a gift certificate that we could use at almost any bike shop, a plaque or a trophy. So once I got too many trophies, I went to plaques. Then I filled up the wall where my trophies were. Then I started getting the gift certificates. And then I bought my first cruiser with the gift certificates. So that was cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then they would sometimes let you sign up through like local races and practices with stamps too. So then that's
Really?
another reason I started getting stamps. Yeah.
I wonder if we do that.
Some tracks do, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But not every track doesn't.
The ones that I know, you can't use them. Like you can't put them on the sheet. You have to be able to like turn them in so they can be reused. If you put them like stick them to like a piece of paper or whatever, so like we can't use those.
Oh, okay.
Really? What if you could use it to buy food?
Oh, I'd be all over that. So okay, so do you have a like championship meal? Like, all right, I won today. We going to Olive Garden. We going to the steakhouse versus I didn't do as well as I thought I should. We're gonna go to the drive-through. Like, do you do something like that?
No drive-throughs. So if there's a race the next day, like I'll just have something normal like pasta or chicken or rice or some kind of pre-race day meal. But if I'm done for the weekend,
Right.
I'm for sure like getting some kind of dessert. 100%.
You earn that.
Yeah, when I won the national championships this year, the first thing I did was after dinner I went and I got chocolate cake. So it was great. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Well deserved. I asked Ariel if she was stuck in an elevator with somebody for 24 hours, who would you want in there with her? And she said you. She said you'd be the most fun. She said you'd be
I'd be fun, but also like I love figuring things out in like puzzles and like mazes. So like if there was a way out, I would 100% be able to get us out.
Okay. So you've done like escape rooms.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I've actually only done 2, but I did one with Carly in like Rock Hill last year. We had like an extra like rest day or whatever. So we did an escape room together and I like figured out the entire thing for us, but we were out. And then my mom and I did one for my birthday last year and I got us out again. So yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I've always wanted to try one, but I think I can't be taken serious. I think I would be giggling too much. Just flipping like everything like, oh, it's got to be something. We're going to run into something at some point, So.
Yeah. Well, I am honored that Ariel said she wants to be stuck in an elevator with me. She's probably going to make me do some kind of workout in there, though, honestly. She's going to be like, yo, you got to do 50 push-ups for the day. Go ahead.
Go ahead and knock those out right now.
Yeah.
So I guess one of the other questions that I had to ask too was when it came to building your bike and you had everything all together and you pick and chose your parts, is there one that actually you won't change when you go to a new setup? Like, I got to have these cranks until I wear them out, or you good with switching out new parts every time or every season?
Yeah, I'm fine with switching out new parts, definitely. I mean, if it's the same brand, like, yeah, really no issues with it. I do like to keep the grips for, well, it doesn't really matter how long, but if I'm like doing a race kind of within like a week, like I'm not going to put on new grips because they wear in to like mold my hand after, riding them for a little bit. But besides that, yeah, doesn't matter.
Okay. Cool.
Do you ever ride flats?
Yeah. Yeah, I tried to ride flats like once a week, even if I just warm up with them. I did half of my sprints on flats yesterday. So I always try to put on flats at some point just because it's so good for fundamentals and not a lot of people ride flats, I feel like. Especially now, I don't know why, but there's like a rule where intermediates can still run clips, which I don't think that should be a thing. I think it should just be like 13 and over, if you're expert, run clips, because the first thing people always do right when they turn from novice to inter and they're old enough, the first thing they do is put on clips, like whether they can ride a bike or not. just because they want to win, they want to be faster. And
Right.
I just don't think that that's the right move. Because then once they put them on, then they stop practicing on flats.
So I had this guy I used to race. Like I said, I'm only 5'8". This guy is probably like 6 something, like 6'1" maybe. And he's a big dude. So we raced. Well, I didn't have to race against him on Friday, but then he turned into my group on Saturday. And I looked down and he had clips on already. And I'm like, all right. I said, I hope you've been practicing in those things, man. He gets up on the gate and he's shaking like a leaf, man. And I'm like, oh my God. I just could not stop looking over at him because I'm thinking this guy's going to fall on me. And what do people do when they fall? They reach their arm out and rip somebody else down next to him. And so I'm just thinking like the whole time, like this dude's going to fall on me, like right when the gate's about to drop and we're both going down. Thank God he held it up, but he was not good on those clips at all, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the first thing he did. Like he couldn't wait. He had the clips there with him that weekend because he knew he was going to turn up, and he put the clips on probably that night and with very little experience.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man. And I was next to him all the time. Like every time we moved over, he was like, how it's like what 2 gates every moto, you move over. So every time he was right next to me, and I'm like, oh my God, bro, we're gonna die today.
I was just say, I wanted to clip, but I ain't got the balance for it, and I ain't got the hips to do it. So I'm always in flats, and I learned now, like I'll pop up right before I know like it's gonna start, like because I don't even try to like act like I'm gonna balance in there or anything. I'll just pop up on my pedals right before I know it's gonna drop. And everyone's like, "How in the world do you?" And I'm like, "I just do it because otherwise it gets nasty real quick." So. But okay, so when it's all said and done, this will be my last question. When it's all said and done, what do you want to be remembered as in the sport or remembered for?
I would say, besides like the obvious answer of accomplishments, I would say I just want to kind of be remembered as someone who inspires others for like generations to come. So just, being personable, being a good role model, and that could be on the track and off the track, like how, like riding aggressively, riding with confidence, riding smooth, but then also off of the track, like taking time for the fans and just kind of like showing off like my personality and not, trying to like be someone that I'm not, like just to impress other people or kind of just like be closed up and never like kind of show myself to the rest of the world and be like, yeah, she was always just so mean whenever I asked her for pictures. And one time we turned down that one guy from that one podcast. So I won't be like that. So yeah, I'd say, yeah, short answer, like just be an inspiration and a good role model for people to then, eventually like follow in my footsteps and achieve their own dreams.
Nice. There we go. Shannon, you got anything you want to add to it?
Now you just stole my last question, man.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. We will get this episode out. What's today? Thursday, sometime early next week, and I'll let you know and tag you in it.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I know we've literally been trying to like film this forever, so I'm glad that we finally got it done.
Yes,
I've
right.
been, like,
I appreciate it. I
so all over
definitely
the place.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
and don't forget, you owe us some jerseys. Like, all right, Shannon, what are we doing? Are we going to the national to go race the next one? You said which one is it? Is it not Music City? It's
Louisville.
Nova, which is not a pro race. I'm doubting you'll be there.
No, I'm not going to be there. I'll be at Grands. If you guys are going to Grands.
Probably not.
Yeah, not this season. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
I'm still recuperating from freaking 2022 Grands. Like I got injured and I'm still like limping around on this broken ankle. It's crazy. Don't get old. Get older. Don't get injured.
Get older. So, well, who knows? Maybe by the time you get to be his age, you'll have a women's vet pro class.
Yeah, maybe. See, if that happened, like it would all start off as like, all right, girls, like let's all go out of retirement and go race, and then it'll all be like fun and games, and then like a few races will happen, and then everyone will start training, and then it will be a 100% bloodbath out there.
Amazing. It would be amazing. All right, well, thank you again, and I guess that's it. We'll see you guys next time.
Awesome.
you,
Yeah.
Payton.
Thank you guys so much.
All right, bye.
Thank you for watching another episode of Real BMX Racing, the podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all other major platforms. Don't forget to check out the website, realbmxracing.com.